Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All right, I'm going to ask you to free your hands from everything you have. I'm going to ask you to make sure you have a little bit of room to move, just in case you might need to. This is your opportunity, if you're already ready, to just say Subhanallah, 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 Subhanallah. All right, I want you to raise your right hand. Raise it higher. Raise it higher. Get higher. Get higher. Raise your hand higher. Get it higher. Let's raise your hands. Okay. Up. Get your hand up. All right. Who's the highest in the room? How can we see? All right. We got some of the brothers to look really incredibly high. Yeah. There's like a trio doing an incredibly high trio. MashaAllah. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. All right. Jazakallah khair for participating in that. Back. All of us in this room at this moment were followers, except for me. I was giving an order and all of you followed it. I asked you to do something and some of you did it in a way where you felt comfortable for whatever reason. Some of you were just like, I'm not getting no chair, so you didn't move. And some of you were like, yeah, this is going to be the ultimate. And that's how you saw some brothers like piling on top of each other. MashaAllah, teamwork, takbir. So we see that in this situation, as followers taking an order, you thought for yourself and you saw how you could follow this action, right? Every single one of us in every single capacity of our life is either a follower or a leader, and we're going to be both. So sometimes when we're in the MSA, if someone's on the MSA board, they're a leader in that moment. But still, they're following something at another point. Like, for example, if you're the president, you might be the leader of the entire MSA, and the vice president is another leader, but the vice president is still following the president, right? And that president still needs to follow the obligations and the rules and the life of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed upon him or her, right? So we're always following and leading. And this has to do with every aspect of life. It could be your life in the home. It could be as a daughter or a son. It could be as a mother or a father. It could be as someone who posts something on Facebook, and then everyone else recopies that and shares it. So now you've led, and all these people are following you, right? Because they're repeating your post. But then they're also leading because people who aren't friends with you are reading what they posted, and so it's really from them. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, every single situation. At the same time, in every situation, we're also proactive or reactive, or we're just stagnant. So all of us are, in every situation, we're doing something, right? Sometimes we're moving forward, sometimes we're unfortunately moving backwards, and sometimes we're just not moving anywhere at all. Sometimes we're reacting because something happened, sometimes we're proactive because we want to stop something from happening or we want to start something. Now, one of the things that we sometimes forget is how real being followers is in our daily lives, in the conversations that we have, in the relationships that we have. So what we're going to do, inshallah, is we're going to do a few scenarios. And I want you to see, and I want myself to see, how as a community we're going to react to the things that are going to happen. And how, once those things happen, if we feel that we follow correctly or not, how we're going to deal with that. So, I'm going to need 4 volunteers. I need 2 sisters and I need 2 brothers. Now, let me explain to you before I volunteer. I need people who are willing to be open. You might get a little uncomfortable. Inshallah, nothing incredibly haram at all. Okay? But you just have to be, not incredibly haram, just slightly haram, right? Yeah. Okay, you'll understand when we're actually involved, inshallah. But I need 4 of you. So, from the brothers, Brother Tahir, I need 1 more brother. Matt, like, you, I want a person. Be a leader for a moment. Standing up, purple shirt. Jazakallah khair. Okay. Sister Maria. She's my friend. That's how it goes. Just kidding. We're all friends. We're all brothers and sisters, family. It's just that she can deal with me being really frustrating. Okay, and you, standing up, sister, white coat, just like me, alhamdulillah. All right, let's go. Okay, what's going to happen is I'm going to give a statement which I have given to one of these people, all right? The other person is not going to know what the statement is. We're going to see how the second person reacts to the statement. And we're going to talk about it, inshallah, all right? Sisters, I want you to actually leave the room because I don't want you to know what's going to happen here. Please go quickly. Thank you. Do something very productive out there, inshallah. Okay, brothers. Join me. All right. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
My name is Taher Hamzullah.
Hold on. Takbir! Jazakallah khair.
I'm Aliyan.
Can you say your name again? I didn't catch your first name. Aliyan?
Aliyan.
All right, Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. Awesome. All right, Brother Aliyan, what I want you to do is I want you to take this mic. I want you to stand over there. You're going to lead everyone in remembering to say astaghfirullah. All right? I'm going to take Brother Tahir to the side for a second, and we're going to talk about what he's going to say. Okay? Inshallah. So you just say astaghfirullah. And everyone else, what are you going to be doing? This is an opportunity for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings to descend. Because when we make istighfar, it's a means of the difficulties in our lives leaving and the blessings of Allah coming upon us. So if you want something, and I'm sure every single person in this room wants something or will want something, make a lot of istighfar. So right now, inshallah, we're not going to waste time. We're going to go to Jannah, inshallah. How are you going to do that? Not by sitting around staring at people, by saying astaghfirullah. So do it. Okay, let's go. Okay. Brother Tahir, are you okay?
Yeah.
Ooh. No, I know, but the cameras can hear it. Okay, do you have any questions?
Okay, I'm just going to say what I need to say.
Yeah. Are you good to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Only like 4 people want to go to Jannah.
oh man, Jazakallah khair. Okay, Jazakallah khair. I really appreciate you working to lead them. And alhamdulillah, I'm glad that some people participated out loud, some people participated internally, inshallah. All right, now, what's going to happen might be hitting some personal chords with everyone in this room, okay? These are real issues that happen in our community. We're going to talk about them, inshallah. We're going to see how we're all involved and how we can make a beneficial change, inshallah. So I just want to let everyone know that obviously this is a scenario which is based on real life events, and I want you to be here ready to handle it. Please do me a favor, take out your phone, take out some paper, take out whatever you need to write something. While these people are talking, I want you to write your reactions. When he says the statement, I want you to write down how you feel about the statement or what your thoughts were about the statement. When he responds, I want you to think about how he responded and how you felt about that. All right? Okay, bismillah. All right, Brother Tahir, do you need them to have the mics on them?
If you're close enough, it's okay.
Okay.
Be really honest.
Yes. But can you guys come over here so they can see you? However you want. Go for it.
Okay. Are we on the... Where are you from? Pakistan.
Do you want me to have these on?
So I was told to be brutally honest. That was a request for this scenario. So I'm just going to tell you guys how I feel about Desi Brothers. So this is just me being, honest. I think Desi Brothers oftentimes don't have a backbone. I think they lack. I mean, just look at the way things are going in the world. More than 80% of the MSA presidents here are Arab brothers. And if not brothers, then sisters. And if you look at the revolutions in the world, they're happening in the Arab world. Another thing is, from what I just experienced right now, was that you guys have a serious odor problem. So
Write that down. Go ahead, write that down. Send it to him later. Write it down.
So yeah. Thanks.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Tahir, and Jazakallah khair, Brother Elian, for participating in this. I'm sure your heart, my heart too, I hope everyone's heart, being extremely frustrated.
Smell bad?
Pretty much, can you get Maria? Okay, so I hope you wrote down or thought about some of the reactions you had to those statements. We're going to talk about them in a minute, inshallah. SubhanAllah. He's talking about personal feelings, Brother Tahir. We'll talk about that, inshallah. While we're waiting for Maria and the second sister to come in, I've actually wanted to talk a minute about the importance of having these kind of conversations. So, inshallah, while we're waiting for them to take forever to come back. Thank you! Takbir!
Allahu Akbar.
All right. Subhanallah. 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 Look, really, honestly, what's better? We're just getting trees in Jannah, inshallah, raising our ranks. You don't need to hear me talk forever. Let's go. Yeah, come on.
Is Mario talking?
Yeah, Mari's going to be speaking.
Mario, I need
Okay.
you to clip both of these on, please.
Put both of them on?
Somewhere on the
Okay. So, I've decided I want Maria to talk. And until, what's your name?
Nancy.
Nancy? All right. So, Sister Nancy's going to be the one responding to Sister Maria. All right. In this scenario, I'm about to tell them, inshallah, they're going to play something else out, another situation that happens in our communities, okay? So, Sister Nancy, I want you to come over here, please. All right, I want you to take the mic for a second. And everyone, what are you supposed to be doing right now? All right. Maria, come over here. So, do you have any questions about what's going on?
No, but if I'm going to be doing the mother one, can I say something along the lines of I don't want my kid to go to youth group because there's people from other cultures there, like Somalians, and I don't want
Yeah,
them
that's
to
fine. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. Maria?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
No, this is for this. That's
Oh.
All right. Bismillah.
Should I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, Nancy, how are you?
Ooh, huh, oops, forgot to tell you what's happening. Okay. This so far is more important than knowing what's happening. Okay, so, Nancy,
Yes.
Maria is your friend.
Okay.
What you guys are doing is you're having a conversation. You both have children who are maybe marital age. All right? So, you're looking for your children to get married and you're open to that idea. All right, you guys are friends, you're hanging out, having a conversation you would always have together all the time.
Assalamualaikum, Nancy, how are you?
Good, alhamdulillah, how are you?
I'm doing well, alhamdulillah. Hey, I had a question. Do your kids go to that youth group at the local masjid?
Yeah?
Okay. Okay, so I had a question. I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm kind of I don't know if I want my kids to go there because, there's a lot of people that are Somalian, and I don't want them to get interested in one of them for marriage or anything. And I was thinking maybe if I don't expose them to that,
I don't think it's right to think that. I mean, we're all Muslim here.
I know, but we're all from different cultures and stuff, and I don't know. I'd rather prefer my children marry within their same culture,
Shouldn't it be Islam over culture, though?
Takbir! Allahu Akbar. All right, Jazakallah khair. Oh, it's so loud? Okay, who has a problem hearing me when I do this? Is it mainly the front? Okay. In the back, can you guys hear me when I speak like this? All right, Jazakallah khair. Thank you for that. All right, bismillah. So, oh, sorry. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. All right, bismillah. So, we just had two scenarios, right? Both of the scenarios dealt with racism. within the Muslim community. I want you to be honest. How many of you have heard statements like that? Whoa, Allah musta'an. Allah musta'an. Okay. How many of you have actually said statements like that? Don't raise your hands. I just want you to think about this, okay? These scenarios come out of things I personally have heard, or things very similar to what I personally have heard. Now, in this scenario, there was a leader and there was a follower, right? The person speaking was leading the conversation. The person following was following the conversation. How did they react when they were following? And how did you react as followers of the conversation? Does anyone want to give like some of their feelings when they were watching? Like, what'd you guys feel? Yeah.
I felt like I can relate to it. Sometimes the sad part is that sometimes people who are really close to you are saying things and you just can't believe that you're saying.
Right. Jazakallah khair. Takbir. She touched on two things. Number one is that people who are saying these things are close to you. And number two, that they're Muslim. How many of you have heard relatives make racist statements? Relatives. Allah musta'an. Okay. All right. One more reaction. Does anyone else want to talk about how they felt? Maybe someone from that specific community. How did you feel? Yeah. So you felt offended and awkward. And which community do you belong to? So the Desi community, so your family would be from Pakistan. Okay, so you would relate to the Desi culture? I hope I'm saying that correctly. Okay, so as a person who felt personally connected to this, you were offended. All right, was anyone else from the Desi community offended when you heard what was happening up here? Okay, how about people from the Somali community? Did you guys feel offended? Yeah, okay. All right, now in both of these scenarios, I want us to look at what happened. In the first one, Brother Alian, how did he respond? He was defensive. What else? He was trying to deal with it with humor, because it's like, whoa, I didn't expect you to just like bust out on me like that, Brother Tahir. Okay, Brother Tahir, by the way, was set up. He doesn't really believe these things. I'm just kidding. No, he really doesn't. Okay, he was totally set up. And Maria was totally set up, okay? I gave them things that I wanted them to say. So obviously these are not feelings that these two people hold, and that's the reason I picked them. But I want us to focus on the fact that the person who was listening reacted in two different ways. When they came from that specific culture, that brother, when he came from that specific culture, he was like, whoa, what's going on? Did not expect that, right? And he reacted with humor, and eventually he actually turned to you. He went to you and he was like, write that down, remember? Why? Why did he tell you to write that down? Huh? As a witness, yes. What else? Support? To have followers to overpower him. Okay, so what's going on? If he as a follower is hearing something wrong, when you as an MSA member, you as a family member, when you as a sister, when you as a friend, hear something messed up from someone, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna be like, oh yeah, I had the same feelings about that community, which I'm sure, unfortunately, people have done. So haram, guys. Come on. And that's what I meant, that some haram is going to happen. This is haram. You don't talk about people like this. Subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us in the Quran, you know, and I know you know this, that He created what? He created us as what? Nations and tribes, so what? Yes, so that we know one another. What did the Prophet ﷺ say about color? Or what did he say about Arab and non-Arab? Right? They're equal. There's no difference between them except for the people who are closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you know that. Your MSA president stands up, or your mom, ooh, so sorry, thank you so much. Tell me. I know. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay. When your friend, person, whoever you're talking to, says something messed up, right? You're a follower, and you can correct that situation. If you do something about it, like Sister Nancy did, she stood up and she's like, you did not just say that in front of me. She actually stood up and she stood up for that community. Takbir. And takbir for Brother Alian as a member of that community dealing with that racism. Both of them, in two different scenarios, showed incredible leadership. Sister Nancy was like, look, I'm not going to stand up for that. And all of you applauded her. So because of her reaction as a follower to the leader, she got the support of the people. Because of his reaction to the oppression he was dealing with, he got the support of you because you knew that you were going to need to be a witness for him. So now there's some type of responsibility upon you. Every single thing that we're involved with, we're going to be asked about. You have the ability to make the leadership strong and upon justice and away from corruption, or to be of those who are fully with the corruptors and allowing that to exceed in the world. I'm going to tell you something which bothers me like crazy, Allah musta'an. We make jokes about people outside of our community who, for example, many Arabs are Muslim, many Indians are Muslim, many Somalis are Muslim, right? Could we say that, for example, Mexico, could we say that most of Mexico is Muslim? Could we say most of Cuba is Muslim? Have you ever heard statements like, I hate those Mexicans, a'udhu billah. You guys heard stuff like that before? I heard this stuff before. First of all, you don't know they're Mexican, they're Latino. They could be from any part. That's like pointing to you and being like, I hate those Egyptians. Are you Egyptian? No, this is wrong. Second of all, it's so rampant in the way that we speak because our society is very racist, right? So it's also in our culture. But Islam tells us to be away from that. As a follower, how are you going to change that? Number one, you can change it through your action, right? So a good follower needs to stand up for justice in their own action. And Allah tells us in 2 places in the Quran, with a very slight variation in the wording. In chapter number 4, Surah An-Nisa, and Surah Ma'idah, He tells those who believe you to stand up firmly for justice, whether it's against ourselves, our families, our parents, the rich, the poor, it doesn't matter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to take care of it. Look, the rich often lead the poor, right? Family often leads the children, right? You lead your own self. You're a leader in every situation you're in because you are governing yourself. You're a follower in that situation when you're put in a place where you can make the decision that's going to change the course of that MSA or that government, like Syria, like Egypt. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give everyone justice. Ameen. And liberate us all from our oppressors. Ameen. Especially oppression of our own selves. Ameen. Look, all of us have the opportunity to change the events around us as followers because it depends upon us how the people who are making incorrect statements or leading are going to take what's happening. If you don't take it and you're like, I'm not going to take that, as a follower, that leadership is going to need to be removed. If you're going to go with it, what's going to happen to that leadership? It's going to get stronger. And instead of all of you being with Elian, all of you are going to be like, actually, we believe that too. And then suddenly you're going to have divisions. How many of your MSAs are dealing with an Arab society clique and a Pakistani and an Indian and a Bangladeshi? I'm not saying they're all the same, but I'm saying different factions and in different cliques. Have you guys ever dealt with that in MSAs? Okay, except for San Jose State MSA, right? Takbir! And UCLA MSA, right? Takbir! Wow, mashallah.
And Berkeley.
Okay, in Berkeley, everyone else, mashallah, everyone. Okay, look, the point is this, really quickly. Number one, as a follower, we have the obligation to stand up for justice. Number two, as a follower, realize you are incredibly powerful. If you were not following, there would be no leader. If I was not following, there would be no leader. Who would be following? There's no leaders. They're just following themselves. So you have the opportunity to change things. How are you going to change it? We need people who are committed to the cause, who are willing to stand up in difficult situations, and people who are willing to do things and sacrifice when they believe in the cause. So Sister Nancy, when she believed that she was like, no way, I'm not going to take this, she was willing to persist. So sometimes we need to be people who are going to be persistent regardless of the situation if we believe in the cause. Feel me? The final thing is all of us are followers of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all of us are followers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's Quran, right? We're followers of his message. Every single one of us, we're going to be asked about that. So at the end of the day, regardless of what position you're in, the most important thing is that we rectify our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is ready to hear us at any moment, right now. Make dua in your heart, He's going to listen to you. We need to be the most amazing, optimal followers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How can we do that? Having a relationship with the Quran. When we have that relationship with the Quran, read it every day, memorize it, go to it, be like, oh, subhanAllah, I didn't bring my mushaf. Okay. Assalamualaikum, best friend. I've been waiting to read you all day long. Tell me, when was the last time you did that with the mushaf? Anyone? Okay, how about like, what's up, G? Anyone? No. Why? Because we don't have a relationship with it. When we have a relationship with the Quran, like we feel it's our life is going to change because of it, and we really, really, really seek to be with it, of course, inshallah, we're going to be maximum followers because we're working on the right path. Why? Because we're followers of Allah. Why? Because we're followers of the Prophet ﷺ. Why? Because right now, inshallah, we're going to stand up, right out. Okay? We're going to be followers of me asking you to end with a commitment to be followers of Allah in the best way you can in establishing justice. Are you ready? Yes. I'm going to say takbir. Oh, that was a practice one. Okay, ready? Takbir. Feel your commitment to changing the world with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will. Ready? Takbir. One more, guys, really. Feel it. I'm saying this not to be funny or whatever. This is your commitment, all right? Our commitment to be a change today, inshallah, with the Quran. 1, 2, 3, takbir. Allahu Akbar. Jazakallah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you and all of your families. Ameen.